All right, so for today's video, I wanted to talk a little bit about the laboratory. Since I did a little more than 50 runs, and let's just pull out some stats real quick to kind of like talk about the overall income and time spent and what you can kind of expect from this method. It's a really good method, to be honest. I was surprised about how much value you can actually extract from here and how easily that value is then converted into divination or divines or chaos or whatever. At the same time, how easy and fast it is. If your build is semi decent in terms of regenerating life, this is really an easy way to go about it. And if you have a lot of movement speed, or as I do, I use the Frostblink of Wintry Blast, which has basically infinite teleporting, right? So it makes me very fast moving through the whole laboratory. But yeah, so I took notes of 50 runs. I used 100 blue jewels or gems. And my main gem that I grinded for was the Ice Nova Frostbolts. So I really wanted to get a level 21 of these gems, but they cost between 9 and 10 div. So the way I set it up was I use the regular invite the offering to the goddess, and I'll bring one Ice Nova per run basically, if that's what I'm grinding for, and I'll bring one random blue gem, preferably with quality on already. So I try to save all the blue gems that have quality that's 17 or above. I always put those aside, and I use them for this specific reason. There's of course other skill gems you can go for. I just personally went for the Ice Nova because that's what my build uses. But I also used a couple of Frostblinks to get my Frostblink to level 21. Another good gem to use would be Firestorm, because the Firestorm of Penting is pretty expensive. Well, now everything has now dropped in prices from when I recorded the runs, the data from the runs. So that's 2 weeks ago, pretty much. And of course, everything has dropped quite a bit. So these stats here are from 2 weeks ago, you could say. Or they are from 2 weeks ago. So out of the 50 runs, we had 8 Frost Novas drop, Ice Novas of Frostbolts. We had 6 Frostblinks. We had 11 Ball of Lightning. We had 1 Firestorm and 1 Kinetic Blast. And if you are not grinding for the Ice Nova or the Frostblink, another good choice would be Firestorm or Kinetic Blast, because those two are really easy to sell, and they also cost quite a bit. I'm not entirely sure of what the pricing is right at this second, since I have already sold everything. But at the time of me grinding, if your gems were level 1 with no quality or anything, this is basically the prices for each gem. So our Ice Nova was 100C, Frostblink was 1.1 div, the Ball of Lightning was 2 div, the Firestorm was 1.1 div, Kinetic Blast was 1.3 div, and then the prices for the gems, if they are level 20 or 21, so for the Ice Nova, if it's level 20, it's 1.5 div with 20 quality. But if it's level 21, it's 9 to 10 div. The Frostblink is 1.2 div at level 20 with 20 quality, and 5 div if it's 21 with 20 quality. And that's how it goes the rest of the way down, right? So some of these are worth a lot once they're level 21 and they got 20 quality. So it can be worth grinding a shit ton of them and then just veiling all of them to hopefully get a good amount of the level 21 gems out of it. On average, my time per lap was 6 minutes. There's 3 stages of the boss fight, and it took me roughly 2 minutes per stage, like to go from one point to the next point. So a 6-minute run, and it basically gives me the ability to upgrade 2 gems. And from time to time, it lets you pick a specific gem to upgrade, and it becomes the transfigured version of the gem you choose. So if I choose to put an Ice Nova gem in there, it upgrades it to an Ice Nova of Deep Freeze or an Ice Nova of Frostbolt, since that's the only 2 Ice Novas that exist in the game besides the normal one. So you keep an eye out for the one that tells you that it'll transfigure the gem and turn it into a gem of the same kind. And then if it doesn't have that, you just check the one that says transfigures a gem and makes it into the same color. So that's how I did that. I used 25 Ice Novas out of those 25 Ice Nova gems. So these regular gems here. Out of those 25, I got 8 of them turned into Ice Nova's Frostbolt. The rest of them turned into the Ice Nova of Deep Freeze, which is worth absolutely nothing, so you can basically throw that one out. So the full time for doing all 50 runs was 300 minutes, which is pretty much 5 hours. And the diff per hour, if the gems are level 1 with 0 quality on, then you should kind of expect in the 7-ish range, so 7 div per hour. Not a lot, to be honest. It's not bad, but it's not a lot, right? If the gems are level 20 with 20 quality, it's somewhere in the 10 to 11 div per hour, which is a little bit better. I would say like 10 to 11 div is pretty fair for the amount of work you put in here. It's fairly simple, and it's fairly fast too, in my opinion, and it's nearly guaranteed that you'll make at least half of the gems into something useful, almost, or somewhere in that area, right? Like roughly half of them are going to turn into something useful. So I only use level 20 gems, and I only use 20 quality gems, and all of my gems, or not all of my gems, I only corrupted a couple of them until I hit the ones I wanted. So when I got the level 21 Frostbolts, Ice Nova Frostbolts, I stopped corrupting those, and I sold the rest of them just as is. Same goes for the Frostblink. I corrupted some, and then I hit the 21, and I had like 2 or 3 left, and I just sold them as is. And when I then calculate the full extent of what I made roughly 52 div, and that's just the raw div in the gem, right? Like the gem value. I also had other things drop along with the 52 gems, or the 52 div in gems. So I had like raw divines drop. I had a couple of different decent drops, exalts, other stuff, but I haven't recorded that as a part of the 52 div that I made. I've only taken the exact amount that I made off of the gems, and then that's how I got to this number. So that being said, this is basically the way I set it up. So as I said, I have one gem that's always, I try to always use leveled up. Now all of these are level 1 because this is like after the fact. But basically I would use qualityed up and leveled up gems, and the same goes for the Ice Novas. And then basically just fly through the end, sacrifice a couple, see if I get the one I want, open the next one, and then just keep doing it like that. And yeah, I feel like this is a very good strategy. It's a very simple strategy, and if your build is semi-decent in terms of regenerating health, running over the traps and stuff like that is not too bad. And if you have a speedy character this big, it just becomes 100 times easier. Now, that being said, I think we should just leave it at that. Like and subscribe if you like what you see, and come by stream sometimes if you want to give me some suggestions to what I want to try, stuff I should try out, or something I should do different. I am open to suggestions, and then I'll just leave it at me doing a run, and you guys get to see a full run in action. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.
The goddess is watching. To damnation with thee! Where there's a golden key, there must be a golden door. Let the day dawn, golden with possibility. The weary traveler. The Emperor beckons to the end, and the world attends. By the goddess, what ambition! This empire remains filled with emperors in waiting. When the time comes to strike, an emperor strikes only as efficient as those he commands. To entertain doubt is to dance with death. You are inexhaustible. My 3 lieutenants remain. Misery loves company, I suppose. aspirant can afford to be promising. The Empire awaits you with open promises. Triumphant at last.
And as you see, that's how easy it is. And this time we get both options as well. So it says transform a skill gem to be a random transfigured of the same color. So if I were to put this in here and then press the top one, it could become any one of the transfigured gems. But this second version says transform a non-transfigured skill gem to be a random transfigured version. So that's the one we want. So when I put the Ice Nova in here and I press this second one, it'll automatically turn this one into an Ice Nova of Deep Freeze or an Ice Nova of Frostbolts. So let's see. And it became the Frostbolts. Boom. That's how easy it is. Now, we don't have a second one of those. We only have the one that randomly transfigures. So this is where we grab our second one. Then we just add that. And we hope to God that we get something really useful here. Sadly, none of these are really useful. A good way to check them is if you open up your trade site like this, and all you want to do is you can now hover over them if you don't remember the exact name, and you can go summon chaos golem of Maelstrom. It's right there. Okay. And now we just go down, we check, okay, the price is like 2-3 chaos, right? So basically useless. Same goes for this one. It's like 1 chaos. This one is like 1 or 2 chaos or something like that. So we're just gonna grab this one for now. It doesn't really matter. We can price check it, but I'm pretty sure. Oh, okay, it's a little bit more, but it's not worth something. It's not like this one. This one, as you see, is already, without having any level, any quality, it's still worth 100 chaos. So once we do level this and we give it quality, then it becomes even more useful, right? That's basically how you want to run it, in my opinion. I like this a lot. This has been phenomenal, extremely profitable. More so than I actually expected it to be. I was thinking this was not going to be, like, how do I explain it? This was not going to be just a decent amount of div per hour. I was expecting this to be like 2 or 3 div per hour, but turned out to be way better than it is. So yeah, try it out if you like it, and let me know how it went for you.